there's a big issue in the Army about discrimination sometimes. And that discrimination is, gender, age, national origin, What does the Army do about it?
Well, the Army has the Equal Opportunity Program, and there are different levels or different regulations, different laws and things that regulate that process. But any soldier who feels like that he or she's being discriminated against has a process that he or she can follow in order to deal with that situation.
Right. In our regulations, federal law, for example, prohibits discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, national origin, age. I think they're even getting to gender identification. It's broadening, sexual orientation. And if you've been discriminated against in those categories, do you have the right to file an EO complaint?
Absolutely. In the Army, there's an EO coordinator for practically every unit. And you can speak to your first-line supervisor, unless that person's the one who's obviously discriminating against you, but you can go to your chain of command, or you can go directly to that EO counselor.
Right. And this all goes back to like the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, the Equal Pay Act of 63 as federal law. And then you've got DOD directives or instructions that deal with it. And then you get to the Army regulation, for instance. In Army Regulation 600-20, it talks about the EO program. And even the Uniform Code of Military Justice, if there's violations of EO, you could face Article 92, failure to obey a regulation, or 93 for cruelty or maltreatment, and even, the General 134 articles if you are violating someone's equal opportunity rights. And then the Army has their own policy letters and guidance and ALCRAP messages and field training manuals that talk about how to have a discrimination-free workplace. Now, we're focusing right this minute on a complaint. So if somebody feels they've been discriminated against, they file a complaint. And there are rules that govern timelines, I presume, on filing these complaints. And are those found in the Army regulation?
So the timelines are definitely set pretty much in stone. It's 690-600. And that's what we use to look at. That's what everybody looks at. And it is a clear guideline for everyone within the Army to know how to go through the process.
Right. And so in the new Army regulation, and it was updated in August of 2024, so just a few months ago, in that regulation where it talks about the complaint process, you've got the pre-complaint procedures that you have to go through, and then you have formal complaints if you're going to file a formal complaint. And you have to do the pre-complaint and the formal complaint procedures. And then there's an agency decision or an Army decision as to findings and to whether or not there's discrimination. And it's at the conclusion of that you're able to take further action and either go to the EEOC or not take any other action. But you have to exhaust those remedies first before you can pursue subsequent remedies.
That's right. And the Law Office of William Helixson can come in at any point in that process. If you feel like, I've got this under control, I can deal with it, and then you realize, wait, this is more complicated than I realized, or wait, I think I need a little bit of, I'm too close to the flame on this. I need someone to assist me on this. We can come in at any point. It is always best to get an attorney at the beginning of a process so that we have a full overview of the situation.
Right. So we can also assist in building the evidentiary piece of the complaint, right? Because not only is it what you say, it's what others will say, other documentation that you have, proof that, you didn't get a particular course or you were discriminated against in this particular fashion. And we help you see what the investigators are going to look for when they're determining whether or not there was a violation of the equal opportunity policy.
Right. And not only that, but it's the Army and investigations are not always perfect. And we can come in and make sure that the right people are talked to, that there is a true, intense and focused investigation based on the facts that are being alleged.
Right. So if you feel you've been discriminated against for any reason, and you feel like it was inappropriate or improper, contact us at the law office of Will M. Helixon. We're here to help you. You defend the nation, we defend you.